Hello and welcome to Look Tech Lab. In today's video we'll be talking about designs. Designing either a website or any sort of a graphics like a logo, poster or anything, even a software engineering could be a challenging thing. Not only we need to focus on functionality in case of a software or a website, but it all has to look professional. In many cases picking a color is a nightmare. Any color we pick has to be in specific code in order for our design tool to recognize it. Usually it is RGB, which stands for red, green, blue. There is something else called CMYK, which stands for cyan, magenta, yellow and key. And also there is a hex, which stands for hexadecimals. And sometimes when we see a color somewhere but we really like it, but it's hard to get exactly the same shade. That's why we have some tools to help us with choosing the color, with picking the code of the color. Sometimes when scrolling through the web or watching a video, you see a color which you really like, but obviously how do I get this color? That is the question. That's why there are tools to help us picking up the colors. So today I'm gonna go through all of them. These are free and can be downloaded either from macOS or Windows. So let's go through them. SColorPicker is a standalone application which can be downloaded either for Windows or for a Mac. So as you can see, the interface here where the cross is picking up the color of the selection. So we can select between HTML. HTML, it's basically a hexadecimals, and these sort of colors are mainly used in web design as well as software engineering. So when aligned on the selected color, you can see there is a green color here, sort of a shade of a green, and by pressing an Alt or Option key plus X, you can see the software is picking the color for us. Okay, so we'll pick a couple of colors. So we can see that's all in hexadecimals, and that's very simple. We can copy the value and paste it depending on what we're doing. If we are working in, let's say, Adobe Photoshop, we can just copy and paste the color. If we're working on a web project in Notepad or using WordPress, we can easily copy those colors and paste them. We can change the format of the color as well, and that's obviously changing for RGB, which is red, green, blue. That also can be used in Adobe Suite. And cyan, magenta, yellow and key, and that's also the color codes for them. And another interesting thing is we do not have to necessarily pick up the colors from the web. We can pick it up from our machine as well, like from a desktop or from any specific application which we're running on our machine, which is really convenient. Another handy feature of just ColorPicker is after you pick the color, you can click this arrow here, and that will give you the adjustments of the color. So let's say if you pick the color but you want to slightly change the shade of it, you can easily do it here, and that gives you the value here. So that's can switch to hexadecimals, and you can freely edit the color. You can also slightly change the shade here, and you can pick them. So that's really handy tool. So as I have mentioned before, just ColorPicker is available in Mac App Store, as well as is available for download for Windows OS. I'm gonna post the link in the description for you so you can download it. And off we go to the next tool, which is a ColorPick Eyedropper. This one is a slightly different from the previous one because it's not a standalone application. You don't need to install it on your machine. It is a Chrome plugin add-on, and that will always stay in your Chrome after installation. So as you can see, after you add it to your Chrome, the icon appears on the top here. So this is a good solution. However, we are limited for picking the colors only from the web page rather than our operating system as well, which is a bit of a shame, but it's handy as well. And you can see it's picking the colors for us. So let's say we want to pick this color, and this one gives us the values straight in hexadecimals after the picking. But when we pick the color and click on the icon, you can always see the colors in RGB. Just click and pick the color, and that will give you the color straight away. So you would have to copy the value and keep it in like a notepad. If you're building a list of colors you would like to use for your project, then you would have to copy the colors and put it on the list, where in comparison to the just ColorPicker, it will store the colors for you. So if you would like to download the Eyedropper ColorPicker, I will post a link in the description. And off to our next candidate, which is an instant eyedropper, and this application is only available for Windows. And as you can see, after download, it works pretty similar to just ColorPicker. However, the application stays on your taskbar on the bottom, where you can just click on it and pick the color. And obviously that picks the color in different formats as well. So it is a hexadecimals, RGB, and cyan, magenta, yellow, and key. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to show you, it's a really nice color generator. It's called Colors, and it was developed by Instagram. So how it works: once you open your website, you can hit a spacebar, and that generates a couple of colors for you. And what you can do, you can lock a specific color and also adjust the shade of it. And once you think like, okay, I like this color, I want to use it in my designs, you lock it and you can continue pressing the space bar, but it will generate more colors, which is quite convenient because you can actually compare those colors and see how they sit together. So if you undecided about the colors for your logo, website, or your software, you can actually use this one and just experiment with the colors, how it actually suits. And the good thing is you can also pick alternative shades of that color, and you can adjust the color. You can give it more saturation, hue, and you can switch between the RGB, red, cyan, magenta, and etc. So I think that's a really good tool. I sometimes use it myself during web development projects. There you go. You can lock them, unlock, and see what basically suits you and what will look good together. Right, so that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will include all the download links in the video description. So stay tuned for the next videos and see you again.